Hello. During this video, you will be taught how to correctly iron your short sleeve service dress shirt. For this, you will need your short sleeve service dress shirt, an ironing board, an iron connected to a power source with a large amount of water, and spray starch. Now, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to bring your iron up to temperature. You're going to bring it up to a hot temperature. This is because this shirt is made of a cotton fabric which allows for high iron temperatures. Now you're going to bring your iron and you're going to apply it to the underside of your collar. Now, it should be your underside of the collar facing upwards. You should be able to tell this because you will have the back of the shirt facing towards you and you will be able to see these epaulets up here. You're going to flatten that underside of your collar with the iron in long movements like this. Just flatten that whole underside of your collar. Once the collar has been flattened, you're going to bring your spray starch. You're going to give it a few good shakes, and you're going to lightly spray that area. Do not drown it in starch, that will result in an unattractive plastic sheen over the fabric. No, simply give it a few light sprays. It should complement the fabric, not drown it. Now, you're going to iron that starch in with some slow movements of the iron. Wonderful. You'll now iron the epaulets. Now you can do this by placing the underside of the epaulette on the ironing board and ironing it flat, as you did just previously with the collar. Now, just like the collar, you're going to bring your spray starch, a few good shakes, and 1, 2. After you've sprayed it with starch, you're going to flatten the epaulette again, ironing the starch into the fabric. You are going to do the same with the other epaulette. Now it's time to flatten the pocket flaps. Now you're going to unbutton your pockets and lay the pocket flap flat on the ironing board so that the underside is facing up. It should look like such. Now you're going to take your iron and you're going to iron it flat, as you just previously did with both the collar and the epaulettes. You're going to iron it nice and flat. Now you're going to take the spray starch, give it a few shakes, spray, spray, spray. Just light spraying. You're going to iron that into the pocket flap. After you've completed this, you will do the same for the other pocket flap. Now, at any point in the ironing process, if you see a thread in your uniform, like such, you're going to take a pair of sharp scissors and carefully snip. Remove the thread. Snip. We'll now move on to ironing the sleeve. Now for the sleeve, we place one side of the sleeve flat on the ironing board. It doesn't matter which side you start on. That's the beauty about the short sleeve service dress. And you will find this bottom crease here. And you will make sure that it has been pushed out as far as possible. We don't want any parts of this crease to be folded in on itself, creating a valley. We don't want this to happen. We don't want the crease to be folded in like this. We want it to be pushed out all the way as far as possible. If a crease has been made and it has been valleyed in, you're going to take your iron, or if your iron does not have a water spray feature, you'll grab a water sprayer, and you will spray that with water. This makes it easier to mold the crease, and it allows for the fabric to move around the new creases that you create more easily. And then you'll have a position there, and then move your hand away and iron the fabric flat so that it retains that form. And start in the effective iron pit and move your way all the way up to the end of that sleeve. Wonderful. From here, you will move from the bottom of the sleeve to the top, ironing flat. Grabbing your iron, and from the bottom upwards. The bottom is your anchor point. It has a set crease here, so you know it is the bottom. The top does not. The top crease should be exactly at the end, the other end from the pre-created seam at the bottom. So iron up from the bottom all the way to the top, creating a nice flat sleeve. Now, once the sleeve has been ironed flat, you may find that your shirt had a crease already creased in an incorrect position, or you may find that you need to create a crease in the first place. This will be achieved, again, with the water sprayer. You're going to drown this top portion of the sleeve in water, and you're going to slowly move up with the iron, flattening that crease. And slowly the water will evaporate away and your crease will be formed. Once the water is evaporated away, you will again grab your spray starch, give it a few good shakes, and spray it flat. Again, going over that with the iron from the bottom to the top to firm up that and support that crease. After completing one side, you will flip the sleeve over and do the exact same on this side, again adding starch to this crease and ironing it in with the iron. You will then complete the exact same on the other sleeve. You'll now be flattening the front of the uniform. Now to do this, you take one side of the front of the uniform and you place it flat on the ironing board. You flatten it out with your hand like this, just to remove any creases, and you run the iron down the fabric in long movements to remove any creases. You can also move the iron between the buttons like so. This helps prevent future creases from forming. Just long movements to remove any creases, making one flat plane of fabric. Now you will adjust the shirt as you move along to ensure that you are flattening the whole thing. You will also flatten the actual pocket, ensuring that the creases of the pocket flap are flattened. And you'll iron all the way up, all the way along the uniform. Notably, make sure not to iron any creases into the collar. Now, if you already have creases ironed into the collar, you're going to spray it with water and you're going to flatten it. Flatten the back of the uniform by placing the back flat on the ironing board and ironing it with long, slow strokes of the iron. Move the fabric along to flatten the entire back surface. Long strokes from the top to the bottom, flattening the fabric and removing any creases from the uniform.